What's up, everybody? Evan here for Grips.com, and today I'm going to introduce an unofficial sponsor of the Grips Poker Training Project, and that is Titan Poker. And not only am I going to introduce them, I'm going to show you guys how to get the maximum out of them, how to get some really good value, and hopefully help you find a site that is much softer than some of the alternatives, which will be a great place for you to build up a bankroll. So a little bit about Titan Poker, since you guys may not have heard of it before. It is the flagship site for the iPoker network. They have been around pretty much since I started playing, so at least like 8 years. If I'm not mistaken, iPoker is the second biggest network behind PokerStars. I think that Party's trying to make a move to take that over, and I may be wrong on this, but iPoker has been very large for a very long time and always been famous for soft games. Great news about iPoker is that they're very generous to new players. As you can see on the middle of the screen, as soon as I opened the software and signed up and made my account, I got a nice message from Anne-Marie saying she had some goodies for me. You don't really have to do much to manipulate these people. They want to give you free stuff. So, you're going to be harassed with some free goodies and you really can't avoid them. The good thing is, on top of a bonus that you get a clear, you also get some cash up front, which is always nice. So I deposited $1,000, as you can see, to get the maximum $2,000 bonus, which is very nice because it pays in small increments, $5 at a time. So you're constantly getting money funneled into your account. You don't have to wait till the end of the bonus and worry about it expiring. And also they gave me additional $5 up front. So, worst case, I could play, lose $5, quit, and I got to free roll them a little bit. It's also very easy to get these bonuses, and the cool thing about Titan Poker is they're always coming out with more monthly promotions. So to confirm that this is real, I talked to Anne-Marie for a bit, made a deposit, and then I got this pop-up saying, congratulations, your account has been issued with a $5 bonus. Not bad. The games at iPoker are really soft, especially the Euro and Great British Pound tables, which make it a great place to build a bankroll. And another piece of good news is that they have tons of good stuff for new players. As you can see on the bottom, on top of the 200% match bonus, they also have new player free rolls for over 20K in prize pools, new player races, so the more you grind, the more money you'll get, and some free poker tools to help you with your game. If you'd like more information about these promotions, just go on over to Titan Poker, click the promotions tab, and you can click any of these links and you will get much more information about these promotions. And if you like what you see and or you'd like to support the Grips Poker Training Project, go ahead, try out Titan Poker, but make sure you use the deposit code GETSTACKIN. That's GETSTACKIN, no G on the end. I'll make sure to put an annotation or something on the screen just so you guys can spell it properly. Anyway, without further ado, that's enough intro, that's enough talk. Let's check out Titan's version of Rush Poker, also known as Speed Poker. And I'm thinking 50 NL. Hope that's cool with you guys. I'm thinking 6 max. I've picked a fairly peak time to play, so it's a decent player pool. Unfortunately, I don't have a HUD set up, and I don't know how to set it up for Speed Poker. But hopefully that doesn't mean that I'm going to get my ass kicked. So we have auto top up, which is always helpful, saves you from having to reload. And let's just get 4 tables going. Hopefully y'all can keep pace. All right, and auto top up. Looks like we're playing in the top right corner. I don't like that seat, so I'm just going to move here. And I definitely don't want to time out anywhere. This shit is going to be pretty fast. Hope you guys keep up. All right. So I will try to analyze hands as I get into situations. Since I don't really have any reads on the opponents, I'm probably going to play on the fairly snug side and just hope to be able to cooler some people and make our money that way. Ace 10 under the gun, I think, is a little bit loose. Some people would definitely argue it's a fine hand to open. And this is a spot where with King Queen suited, I kind of wish I knew my opponent. Let's see, 3-bet ace king top left. Against a loose player, peeling with king queen suited is obviously going to be the play, and against a tight player, you may just want to muck that shit pre-flop. Facing open. What kind of lead out is this? Alright, I'll call. Nice flop for the ace queen. Pretty dry, so we can bet pretty small. And when this guy checks on table 2, can I get him to fold a 10? I don't know. Whatever. Bad. And we did not hit the river. Question is, can I get him to fold a queen? Or probably not. When he bets out like that, he's probably not planning on folding, so I guess I'm just going to have to release. Go for a value bet on table 2. Hope to get called by king queen. That's really all we're looking to get called by. And caught with king queen. Fuck that shit. Now, can I get hand histories on here? Last hand. Called with 9s. It's pretty loose. But I'll take it. Never going to be disappointed about getting loose action from my opponents. That's always a good thing. Ivy's right, ball. Oh, he doesn't mean like Ivy is correct, you should ball out. He means Ivy's like right test. That's kind of gross. Just going to call down with this ace 7. I think. Interesting. Well, just going to hope that he didn't slow play pocket pair pre-flop. Don't really imagine he would be leading a 9. He could have flatted with something like jacks. Everything kind of got there, but I just don't really know what's up with the whole leading thing, so I'm going to hope he's on bullshit. Oh, God, that is sick. He was on bullshit, but he just totally got there on the river. Sometimes that's going to happen, and an option on that hand that I considered on the flop, but ended up not taking, is definitely to raise up his bet. If you think your opponent is leading out into you with a hand that is, you know, like bullshit, but still is going to have some equity against you, like his hand did there, 2 overcards for like 24%, then, you know, it can be okay to raise the hand on the flop to kind of just protect your equity. The more vulnerable your hand is going to be, which a hand like mid pair or bottom pair on a low board is going to be, the more inclined you would be to do that. And the more of a lock your hand is, like top pair on an ace high board versus top pair on a jack high board, the less inclined you would be to want to kind of fast play your hand. I don't know the correct terminology, but I do know that I'm going to value bet this jack, and I do know that I'm going to 3-bet these aces. And I don't know what else I'm going to do, but I'm probably going to be betting this dry board on table 4. And for those of you who have not watched any of my videos before, the names of the tables: top left is table 1, bottom right is table 4, top right is table 2, bottom left is table 3. I probably didn't do that in the most efficient and easy to understand manner, but I mean, let's get serious here. I'm 4-tabling speed poker and trying to talk, which is a whole lot of shit going on. It's pretty fast, and you're gonna have to forgive me if I make any small mistakes in my speech. Please don't be a nitpicker and be like, hey man, I heard you use the wrong word there. Like, just, you know, enjoy the show. Try to get some information out of it. If you think I'm making, like, bad plays, or you see me making some mistakes, and you think I could improve them, that's cool. I'm always down to hear your guys' feedback, and you taking the time to point out mistakes in my play is going to give me the opportunity to improve, and it's going to make you a better player, because if you're out there finding errors that other people are making, you're thinking about the game, and it's just kind of like expanding your thought process. And the more you can think about poker and the different ways you can think about poker, the better you're going to become. So just consider it like a great exercise, and like, don't worry if you say, yo Grips, you suck, you did that wrong, you should have done this. Like, I'm not going to be offended by it, and I appreciate it, but try to say it in a nice way if possible, like in a constructive way. Don't be a dick about it. So see myself getting barreled into a bunch here on the river, and just don't feel like calling 3 streets with the 7s there. That's one thing. You put yourself in a tough position by just calling out of the blinds and not being the aggressor. Sometimes it's better to 3-bet, but the big thing is just having a plan, knowing how many barrels you are willing to call down before you want to release your hand. Also, having an idea of how many bullets your opponent is capable of firing is going to help you with creating those plans and trying to take the best course of action. So this king on table 3 is a good barrel card, but since I have like a decent value hand, I don't really want to scare him off. So I'm going to check it back to try to induce bluffs and snap call whatever he bets on the river. If he peeled with ace high, I want to give him a chance to turn into a bluff / think it's good. And if he peeled with the pocket pair, pretty much the same thing goes. On table 3, the jack coming makes it less likely that I have a jack. Ooh, I value cut myself. But I also don't think he's defending that many jack X hands out of the big blind. So I'm just going to rep that shit hard, and if he called the turn, I was going to smash the river too, and I think most of his range of hands for defending pre and floating on the flop is going to have to fold by the river. He's going to have some ace-high hands he's peeling, he's going to have some mid-pair hands he's peeling. I don't remember what the board was now because I'm already getting overwhelmed, but I know there were a bunch of hands that can definitely call 1 barrel but can't call 2 and definitely can't call 3, and that's kind of how you go about creating a plan for how many barrels you want to fire. How many hands can you get your opponent to fold by the river with how many bets, and what odds are you giving yourself? How often does your bet have to be successful to be profitable? Combine that with what percentage of his range he's folding. You can work the math out to decide if a bet is profitable or unprofitable. Why don't I fold? Because I don't like folding. BVB will just do a peel here with Jack 4 suited and just try to play good pokes post flop. Being in position is being in power. You check? I'll check 2. No queen, no ace. That's all I care about. I'm not going to defend this ace-jack on table 1 to an early position raise. Just don't think it's necessary. I'm going to get a little funky with it here. Sure, we'll raise the turn and rep nothing with the Jack 4 suited. I mean, I don't really expect him to call. Surprised he did. Maybe he checked the flop with a hand like King 10 that he was trying to like do like a cheap showdown, like pot control kind of thing. When I check back the flops, like, okay, for sure my king's good, and that's probably what he had, and that allows us to get maximum value. That's ace jack. I'm just gonna flat. 3-betting is also an option for sure. Can we go back? Yeah, he had k9. Got him. Wow, that's a massive shove. If you check, I will bet. I don't. Wow, 6x raise on table 2 from a dude with 40 bigs. It's probably a good spot. Yeah, what I was saying before. Do I get hood with the ace-10 Sue? Early positions, the opener does have a chance to 4-bet. I'm away. I'll pass. Being in position is being in power. So the spots where you want to play the widest range of holdings are going to be the times that you have position. So blind versus blind is a spot where you can get really wide, you can get really hood with it and play a lot of different hands. Whereas, like, they're like fake position spots. Like if under the gun opens and you're under the gun 1, yeah, you have position on him, but you don't have position on the rest of the table, and you still have to get through the whole table. So you don't want to go too wide there. And like when you're opening into the field, you want to have a much tighter range than you do when you're opening in the field from the button, because you're going to have position in that spot. So like we'll open king queen on the button, but we'll also open 3-4 suited and 2-3 suited, because why the fuck not? We have position. We're gonna have it for the rest of the hands. A good spot. Man, this action is fast. I'm probably gonna clear my bonus like real quick, which is cool. The one thing about speed poker that I don't like though is that it's very difficult to take notes on your opponents, because as soon as the hand's done, well, bam, you're on to the next one already, and it's hard to go back and take notes. I don't feel like going as wide as queen 6-0. If you're one tabling, I think it's possible to like click back, take a note on your opponent, and really get into it. I guess there's some value on table 4. He should really bet a jack. I think he has like a small pair that's very unlikely to call, but I'm going to give him, I gave him the best chance at calling by betting pretty fucking small. Generally, the wider you want people to call you, the smaller you have to bet. And if you think someone's range for calling you is going to be very narrow, well, in that case, you can bet a larger amount. Because if you're only going to get called by a few specific hands, you might as well get paid off the maximum on those value bets. Whereas if your opponent's range for calling you is really going to depend on how much you bet, and it's going to be a lot wider, you're going to get called by many more hands if you bet small than if you bet big. That's a case where you would want to vary your bet size and maybe bet like smaller to kind of try to exploit someone's mistake. All right, we're going to try a light 3-bet on table 3 and just hope our friend's range isn't too strong. And I don't know what's up with this limp re-raise on table 4, but I'm down to see a flop and then take it from there. And pretty wet board on table 2. Kings somehow faded. Nah, you got me. I think I'll peel one with the ace king. Back in the day, a limp raise always meant aces. I don't really know what it means anymore, and his sizing was weird. So I'll take one off. There were some cards that definitely continue on. I don't think the queen is really one. But if he is limp raising with any unpaired hand, ace king is the best hand. And if he limp raised with a pair other than aces or kings, then I have 6 overcards, a bunch of backdoor flush draw possibilities and stuff. So, you know, whatever. I gave it a shot. Didn't work out. On to the next one. And, oh, God. Please don't, like... Okay. I really worry. There are some softwares where, like, when you time out, it automatically puts you on check fold. And I was cool with checking back that king on the turn. I didn't want my hand to look like what it was. I did want to try to, like, induce some bluffs from him. But there are some sites where when you time out, for some reason, like these really like ghetto sites, you can't click I'm back and it automatically puts you on check fold. So I was really worried that if you bet there, I might just like be forced to fold my hand, even though like I'm so snap calling. And here's a weird spot where a lot of people are like, man, pocket jack's hardest hand to play and hold, and what do I do? Well, when it goes raise under the gun for full pot and a flat and then a squeeze and all the action's coming from early position, you just fold. Wow. It's really not that crazy. Now, I'm not saying that you always fold when it goes raise and re-raise ahead when you have jacks, but based on the positions and based on the sizings, I think that that action shows a lot of strength, and that even though, Curious George, I see him raising all the time, but I don't know. Given that he's raising full pot, I'm going to assume that he is raising a narrower range of holdings. He's the tighter player than someone who is, I think I like a check raise on this board, than someone who would be opening for 3x or even 2.5x or min. So I'm going to give him credit. And looking back, I don't really love my king-queen suited peel from the start of the session, but hindsight's 20/20. And that's the good thing about taking notes on your opponents or running a HUD and getting more information about them, is you can adjust your strategies and make better decisions to take advantage of their tendencies, take advantage of their weaknesses, and not play into their strengths. But I'm just going to deal with what I got, since this is my first time playing on Titan in like, wow, how long has it been? Probably about like 6 or 7 years. So I don't have a HUD set up, but after this video's done, after this video's released, if you guys like this crazy speed poker action and you'd like to see more of it, and you'd like to see how I make decisions when I have a heads-up display to help me with my decision, then I will look into how to set up a HUD on speed poker. Or maybe you guys can make it easier for me and do the research and let me know how to set up a HUD for speed poker, because I wouldn't be surprised if after seeing this video and seeing that there's definitely some value in these games, you guys might want to try it out. And I would not really recommend going into these games HUDless if you don't have to. You can definitely make a profit and win money without a HUD, but as long as you understand how to use it, it's going to be infinitely more profitable to play with a HUD than it is to play without one. So yeah, let's 3-bet this ace king and maybe we get played back at. Maybe we can get some money in the middle, which is always fun with a hand like ace king. Lead or call? I'm going to check, because betting out and getting raised by Jafinski would be annoying. And when he checks back on the flop, I can like smash the turn real hard. This guy called from the small blind. Not sure. It's so hard to like talk through all my thoughts while trying to play this many tables. Okay, the question is, can I get him to fold an overpair if he has it? I mean, sure, why not? The board double paired, it's hard for him to call. Maybe I can blow him off a chop. If he had a draw, oh wow, nut barrel card. This guy's never gonna believe me. Probably, I don't think I sized fantastic here because I'm not going to be able to get all in by the river on table 2, but that's okay. And yeah, if he had a draw, I had him beat anyway, so I'm not really gaining anything by folding him off a draw, but if I can fold him off some pair, that's great. And if I can fold him off a chop, that's obviously gaining value. So that was my reasons for betting on table 3. I'm also, since I feel like the pace of this video is extremely fast, we're deep. Don't want to 3-bet out of position. Deep puts me in a really tough spot. If the pace of this video is too fast, let me know. I will be more than happy to, you know, drop it down to 2 tables or even 1 table in the future. I'm also down to play regular tables and just do like a 2, 4, 6, whatever tabling session on the regular games.